Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about this ink. So this ink comes from Ellington pens. Ellington is a retailer brand that has had a little bit of internet attention over the last couple of years since they launched. They've made a range of fairly decent pens. Not without their controversy, but, nevertheless, they have made them. And one of the pens they made, the Clarity range, required bottled ink. And so they've also made some bottled inks. Now, as I'm filming this, I can't find this on the website. It seems to go in and out. But what we're looking at today is the blue ink. This is Skyline Script Blue. It's a fairly standard royal blue, but a very nice one, so I want to show it. And I'll link to their website sort of down below. I'm filming this a little bit ahead of time, so it may come back up online, but a 50ml bottle, and it's a really lovely ink. I'm actually really enjoying using it. So it comes in a nice glass bottle, and yeah, it's a beautiful ink. So let's have a look at on some paper, starting with a coloring card here. So you can see it is a bright, vibrant blue. Now, as far as I'm aware, I think they may have also made a blue, black, and maybe a black. But as I said, at the moment, I can't find a whole lot of information other than the fact that when they were retailing for $19.95 for that 50ml bottle. That's $19.95 US. So it's not a terrible price. I'm not sure who makes the ink for Ellington. I've had some theories, nothing I'm willing to put out on the internet, but I have some theories. But I think they look really nice, and you can see here on the coloring card, it's got a great vibrancy, a little bit of sheen. It's a, pretty decent ink. Let's look at it here on Tolmore River. So this is it on 52 GSM at Tolmore River. As I said, I had it in the Ellington Clarity fountain pen with a medium nib. I'll link to that review below as well, because it's an interesting pen, but it writes beautifully. You can see how vibrant that ink color is. It's got a medium low water resistance, like enough stays around to be able to make out your writing. But it sort of shows me that the saturation isn't ridiculously high here. It's just a nicely saturated ink. And if we look at the reverse of that page, nothing comes through in the writing. A little spot there on the eye in Ellington, but the swatch does come through. But generally speaking, it performs pretty well here, and I think it looks fantastic. So let's look at it on some lower end paper. Let's start with the horrible student lecture notepad from Spyrex here. It feathers quite a lot. It is a duller sort of color, but it is still quite light and vibrant. It just doesn't have the depth of color, but it does feather quite a lot. And the reverse here, we see a good amount of bleed. So, it's not a gentle ink. But once again, I will say it looks great on the page. And then here we have it on the office copy paper, final one on this page. It's, once again, the color is good, a little bit of feathering, and quite a lot of bleed. So not an ink for low quality paper. Let's now look at it here on the Rhodia while I have it up here. It looks great here. There is a bit of feather here on the swatch, and we don't get a lot of shading. It's pretty much a straight up blue, and we find that on most of the paper. The water test there spreads a bit. You can see it's quite wet, and although there's no feathering in the writing, there's a couple of spots where it has come through in terms of bleeding. So for me, this is an ink I use on good quality paper. And when I do, like on the Tolmore River here, it looks fantastic. So let's do a bit of a color comparison. So here is the Ellington Blue, or Skyline Script Blue. I've got three inks to show it alongside. First, I'm just going to put it alongside Waterman Serenity Blue. Puts it into context. It's much more vibrant than Waterman Serenity Blue. Doesn't quite have the same sheen, but much more vibrant. And then just because I know people will ask, here it is alongside Bay State Blue. So in terms of vibrancy, it's not far off. It's a little less saturated, but it does have that bright pop that we love from Bay State Blue. And here it is alongside Monteverde Horizon Blue, one of my favorite bright, vibrant sort of royal blues. If I'm after an ink that is highly saturated and looks great on the page, pops, that's a blue. This is one of the ones I go to. I just think this color is fantastic and the performance is brilliant. But I have to say, if I'm using good quality paper, this Ellington ink does look great as well. And just for the sake of the exercise, this is the chromatography. Nice light blues, bit of pink in the top, which brings out some of that vibrancy. It stops it from being sort of a bit more of a washed out blue, but pretty much what you would expect there. So this was Skyline Script Blue, or just the straight up blue from Ellington. I like the fact that they made bottled ink for their Clarity pen line. It's interesting. I really like this ink. So if you can get your hands on it, if you want something for, you know, sort of a good quality paper, it's a nice option. But if you're using anything that's not nice quality or a particularly wet pen, this would be one to not avoid, but just be wary of. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that stuff. If you'd like to support the channel, I'd love to hear from you. There are many ways you can, and all the support really helps this channel keep going. Including support I have from Ellington Pens, who sent this and the number of pens out over the last little while for review. So a big thank you to them. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your ink, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.